Hello there. All right. I'm sorry if you guys can hear like the fan. It's so hot today. It's meant to be like 36. Wait, what is it right now actually? It's like midday. It should be like peak hotness right now. Oh my god, my camera is trash. A7S II, you suck for autofocus. Oh my god. 34 degrees right now, but feels like 37. Hell to the no. Jesus Christ. All right, well, besides all the heat, today's video, I need to turn the fan down a little bit. I know it's just gonna be like, brrr. I've never hated a camera's autofocus so much. Holy shit. Today's video is all about batteries. So, hope you enjoyed a little cinematic put together, you know, batteries, I know. Okay, so a while ago I entered a Instagram contest. You know, I enter them like often, I would say. I mean, for the stuff that I would like to actually get. Don't usually win. I've won two out of the like 15, 20 I've entered, I don't know. But the most recent one I won was by Anton Bauer for a V-Lock. Why is it out of focus again? Oh my god. You think the center is in focus right now, camera? I actually can't right now. This is ridiculous. I entered the Instagram contest and I won. 90 watt hour, the brand new Titan V battery, or V Titan, whatever, the Titan 90 battery. And this thing is awesome. So I'll quickly go over the specs of it. It has a battery percentage indicator on the side, which is very, very useful. It has a D-tap or P-tap port, and it has a USB port as well. So if you want to charge like your phone or anything that can run off of USB power, goes into a standard V-Lock plate like this. Bosh, now it's in, and then take it back out. Oh, the screws. Or, you know, it'd be more commonly used on something like a RED camera. Slot it on the back, boom, and then just take it back out. I'm gonna be going over why this battery is awesome. So this isn't a sponsored video, just before anyone says, like I just said, I won it in a contest for free. So that's pretty sick. I've always wanted to get an Anton Bauer battery, but they're kind of expensive. V-Lock batteries in general are very expensive. So like this is a Hawkwoods 98 watt hour battery. This costs like 300 pounds. I think this is similarly priced, which is funny because this is like so much smaller than the Anton Bauer one. However, the Hawkwoods one doesn't have a percentage or a USB output port, whereas this one does. So probably, I guess you need more room for that kind of stuff. All right, so this battery is really robust. It lasts a very long time, depending on the camera. I will quickly add that. For example, I can get about 14 hours of battery life on my A7S II. I haven't tried using a dummy battery, so I don't know how long it would last that way, because I don't have a dummy battery. But if you plug this in via USB into the camera, like with the micro USB port, it says 14 hours. Now, what I've noticed with the USB charging, sorry, it's just like so hot today. With the USB charging for the A7S II is if you're shooting in 1080p, then it will like charge and I guess it will like maintain level. If you shoot 4K, you use more power. And so I think this probably slows it down, like how much power you're using, but the battery will still drain and you will eventually deplete it, because that's what I actually did last time I was recording. Had this on the back and it still depleted the battery. So not this battery, it depleted the A7S II battery, just to be clear. V-Lock batteries are very universally accepted. Like there's V mount and then there's gold mount. So Anton Bauer supplies both V mount and gold mount, but I already have V mount batteries. My RED is a V mount. I have that V mount plate from Small Rigs, so I just prefer to use V mount. Nothing against gold mount or anything, I just chose to get into V mount plates. In terms of charging this thing up, it does take a fair amount of time to charge up. I don't have an exact time, but I would say maybe a few hours probably. These are big batteries, and even though they last like 2 hours on a RED, which is painful, I know, because it means if you want to shoot all day, you need like what, 10 batteries? 10 times 300. I do not have 3,000 pounds on me, thank you very much, or $3,000 on me. But if you're using this for another camera, like if you're shooting like a C200, C300, C100, that kind of thing, or the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, such a mouthful. This would last you all day easily. Like just get one of these and you're good all day, which is another plus side of a vlog battery. They have such a huge capacity that for cameras besides like Arris and Reds, they'll last all day. Yeah, if you're shooting on a Red, you're probably gonna need a few. I originally bought 2 Hawkwoods vlog batteries because I knew one wasn't gonna be enough. I got 2 and it usually lasts me for an all day shoot because I'm not literally shooting 12 hours straight. I'm usually like shooting for 30 seconds and then I stop, then shoot for maybe a minute and then stop. Then there's like a few minutes in between each take, stuff like that. So these do last longer than 2 hours, but if you were to run them non-stop, it would last between, I want to say 2 hours, but your time may vary. You know, it depends on the camera, depends on the situation, depends on like the weather as well, you know, because batteries use more energy or they lose more energy if it's like really cold. I don't know about the heat, but I know if it's really cold, your batteries will just drain. But right now that isn't a problem. Hot as hell outside. So I don't have any affiliate link or anything for Anton Bauer. No sponsorship, no affiliation or anything. I would just really recommend this battery. The Hawkwoods ones are great too, especially because they're so tiny. So I would definitely recommend those as well. But if you want to see the percentage on the side, if you want that USB output over there, then I would definitely go with the Anton Bauer. They've got a great reputation, used like all over the world. There's a lot of other batteries you can go with too. Just do your research because some Vlogs have a sketchy like build quality. Sometimes they don't work. I'm not saying any blow up or anything because I don't think that happens, but like some don't last as long as they should. And plus the build quality, like if I were to drop this, I wouldn't worry as much about it breaking. So now I'm going to show you different ways you can set up a Vlog battery with different types of cameras. So first off, I'll show off using the Red. This is pretty straightforward. You literally just clip it onto the back and you're good to go. That's basically how all Red cameras work anyway. You can get these dual plates, which I don't have that, but I'll put clips showing it. So yeah, if one battery dies, then you can swap it out, put a fully charged one on, and then the other battery that is still on that like dual plate will continue to power the camera. All right, now let's show using Vlog batteries with other cameras. So like I mentioned, I have used it with my Sony before. The rig I have for it is not perfect by any means. Basically, when I had my Ronin S, because I sold it, and if you want to know why, I'll talk about that in another video. Just comment below if you want to know why. So I bought this for my Ronin S, and this was to use my Red with my Ronin S, and then, you know, you would want to take the battery off the Red so that it is as light as possible for the gimbal. So I would attach this to the side of the Ronin S and then put the battery on there and then power the camera. So this is the only V-mount plate I have besides the one that is attached to the Red. You know, can't really use that on a rig, on rail system or anything. This has a load of 1/4-inch screws that I can screw onto my A7S II's cage. Now, ideally, you'd want to put this on some rails and then have it kind of be a bit spaced away from the back of the camera. You can see this doesn't have any rails, which means I can't put it on rails. Or like it doesn't have any ports for rails. What's the word? It doesn't have any holes on the bottom for rails, so I can't put it on rails. So I kind of had to screw it onto the cage. Now, the way I put it on is not perfect at all. It is actually very impractical, but it does the job for the meantime, which is all that matters. So I basically just screwed this onto the side of the cage. It's a really, really bad look, but it works and it charges the camera. I would totally recommend putting this on the back if you can. Get a V-mount plate that has the holes for rods and then put it onto the back of the camera, so then it's like more evenly spaced, like the lens and the battery balance themselves out and all that stuff. And also it's just like you don't want to have a heavy battery hanging off the side of your cage because it completely ruins the balancing of the camera system. So you don't have to use V-mount batteries. Like I have like 5 of these Sony batteries. These are the tiny ass A7S II batteries. I know the A7 III now has a bigger battery. What's it called? The Z battery or something? I refuse to say Z. It is the Z battery. Yeah, and plus like you can get these like RAV power ones, which are literally the same thing, but so much cheaper. So you could just literally pack 10 of them into a bag. They're so tiny that they fit into like the side pocket of your camera bag and you're good to go all day. Just swap them out every hour if you're doing 4K, every 2 hours if you're doing 1080p. Now in terms of other batteries, I mean, every camera has its own proprietary camera battery. So like, is that right? What I just said? Let me say that again. Every camera has its own proprietary battery. So these are the batteries for 70D. These are like the common Canon batteries you can use amongst like almost all of their cameras, I think, except for the 1DX and obviously except for the cinema line cameras. And then these are the very common Sony batteries. This is the NPF NP550 or NP-F570. It literally says both on there. I don't know. But this is the tiny one. I have the bigger one, but I'm using it on my monitor right now and on my light. And then that's kind of it in terms of batteries. My opinion on batteries is I would just get a V mount and be done with it, unless you're doing like very, what's the word? I guess minimalist style of shooting. Like if you're literally just only the camera and the lens and that is it. You have no cage system, no rails, no gimbal, no shoulder rig, no sticks, tripod. Then yeah, like if you're doing it like that, then yeah, just camera, battery, lens and go. But if you're able to rig it out a little bit, like if you always have your camera in a cage, I would definitely consider getting a V-mount battery, slapping that on the back, and then just never having to worry about your power issues ever again, because you won't have any. Because a V-mount battery will last your A7S II or mirrorless or the BMPCC 4K all day long. So yeah, that's been my video on batteries, guys. If you have any more questions like about batteries or about V-mount batteries, drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Always responding to all the comments. And also thank you again for all the recent subscribers. I have noticed all of you guys. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, peace.